Today on Let's Fish TV, we're at Ellison Creek Reservoir. It's a little bitty lake in East Texas. From what I'm told, it has a lot of big bass in it and a lot of grass, and those are two of my favorite things to fish. Be fishing shallow with a hybrid hunter, maybe chase some schooling fish this afternoon. Fishing's heating up, and so is this episode. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got him.
Another day. There you go. Another redfish. Got him. Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys. Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we're at Ellison Creek Reservoir, also known as Lone Star Lake. Lone Star Lake sits at just over 1,500 surface area acres. It's loaded with grass, and one thing I know is it's loaded with bass. Today we're going to be fishing a couple different ways, from schooling fish to shallow water grass, kind of show you what the lake is all about. Never been here before, so it's going to be a new adventure for me. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, we'll get this Bass Cat Mercury launch, get everything set up, and we'll toss it back to studio for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, and thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Let's Fish. The Saltwater tables are predicting fair game fish activity throughout both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins early at 4:33 Saturday and 5:22 on Sunday morning. Afternoon action will begin around 4:57 on Saturday and 5:48 Sunday. Depending on your area, expect the sun to rise around 6:49 and set around 8:18. Evenings will feature a 31% visible moon. Stay tuned for the latest fishing adventures and tips from Let's Fish TV by following us on Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel.
All right, guys, today we're out here on Ellison Creek. You know, we have a beautiful day. It's going to get really hot. Actually, it's projected to be one of the hottest days of the year. This lake is not very big, but full of grass and a lot of really big fish. I'm excited to get out there. I've never been to this body of water before. Really don't have any information on it. We're just gonna go fishing and see what we can catch. We'll see y'all here in just a second. I might actually, oh, there's one. That's a good one. God, he just stopped that hybrid hunter. That's a good one there. Oh yeah, oh, he's barely hooked. I mean, one hook. Man, oh man, there's nothing better than getting them to eat this hybrid hunter around this hydrilla. Oh. There we go. Fish number one of the day on the hybrid hunter. Oh, golly. There's nothing wrong with that bass right there. Guys, today we're at Ellison Creek Reservoir, formerly known as Lone Star Lake, here in East Texas, just outside of Longview, and it is loaded with grass and big fish. This is just the average fish that you would catch here. But I'm gonna tell you guys, I've never been to this body of water. I was told that it had a bunch of hydrilla in it, and I knew right then and there that the hybrid hunter would be the bait to throw, because that thing is built for grass, built for shallow water. This place is loaded with shallow water and good hydrilla. Let's get this fish back. We'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing and how we're doing it. You know, this lake is very, very small. This is a lake that's perfect for like that 16, 18 foot aluminum bass boat. Even the big bass boats like we have today, you don't see a lot of boats out here either. That's one really cool thing about it. I saw one boat today running around, but nobody else fishing. You know, we are in the heat of summer, and a lot of times in the heat of summer, you better get out there early and late, and that's when the best bite windows are. But today what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you how to catch them throughout the day in that extreme heat. I'm telling you guys, this lake, from everything I've been told, has a lot of really big fish in it. And we're gonna talk a lot of really technique specific stuff today and how to catch fish around the grass, around stumps, brush piles, and everything else in between. I'm gonna get back to it. We are early in the morning. I wanna capitalize on that early morning bite. Let's see what happens next.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by the good folks at Athlon Optics. Whether you're looking for scopes, binoculars, red dots, or even the new thermal imaging products from Athlon, you're going to get the very best product at the very best price, the most bang for your buck. Now this week we're going to start at Lake Texoma. We're going to focus on smallmouth, but we might catch a lot of species out there on Texoma. Start early in the morning with your topwaters like your buzzbait and your chug bug. That's when you're probably going to be able to catch smallies, largemouth, and even stripers up shallow. Then transition to your chartreuse white spinnerbaits and your swim baits on a 1/2 ounce lead jig head, about a 5-inch shad colored swim bait. Fish those anywhere from 5 to 12 feet deep along those submerged boulders. Now at night, we're going to fish Texoma with 3 baits primarily. A buzzbait in black blue, a spinnerbait in black blue, and we're going to use a deep diving crankbait. We're going to fish the same areas around the Main Lake Dam and the bluffs on the southern side. We're going to fish the buzzbait up shallow, of course. Then count that spinnerbait down to about 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll get the bait down in the 8 to 12 foot range around those submerged boulders. And finally, deep diving crankbait. Take that to about 10 feet deep, and you should catch some good smallies at night on Texoma. Now over at Bodart, Texas's newest bass lake, we've got the Lone Star bass, and they're still getting used to the lake. So the best way to find fish right now is to go to the submerged timber. Use your forward-facing sonar if you have it. Either way, whether you do or not, you're going to throw soft plastics like your Texas rig creatures and lizards and worms into all of that submerged timber. Maybe a 1/4 to 1/2 ounce tungsten weight, flip and pitch that stuff right into the timber, and you should catch some of those Bodart bass. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
There he is. There we go. It's a pretty good one there. What do we got here? Oh yeah, that's a good one. So that's where having good electronics makes a really, really big difference. But also paying attention to bait size. We're out here, kind of pulled off the bank a little bit, saw some fish schooling, and decided to come use our active target 2 to see what was going on. And sure enough, they were out here feeding. But one of them, the fish that we caught earlier, spit up a shad that was about 1.5 inches long. So we went to a little small fluke style bait, about 1.5 inches long, just trying to match the hatch a little bit, and immediately hooked up with a nice fish. Let's see here, come here baby. Yeah, there we go, that's a nice one. Right through the top, just like what you want them to be. But guys, that's one thing I want to talk to y'all about. You know, we're in the middle of summer, dog days of summer. You know, Lowrance Active Target 2 is forward-facing sonar, and that's what we're using today, right now at least. And we tend to use it a lot, but not necessarily the way that you might expect. You know, everybody talks about, you know, using forward-facing sonar, catching fish that you can see on your sonar out in front of you, but more times than not, what I actually use my forward-facing sonar for, maybe more than anything, is to line up targets or to find certain structure. You know, earlier when I was using the Hybrid Hunter, I was going down grass lines trying to find little irregular pieces of structure coming out in the grass, or maybe high spots or low spots. And sometimes you would even see fish swimming through the grass and actively feeding, making me think that, man, I really need to be throwing a moving bait, and it actually paid off. So paying attention to that forward-facing sonar, using it in a lot of different ways, not just seeing fish and catching fish that you physically see, but more so using it to find structure, find cover. And I'm telling you guys, if you utilize it for that particular reason, you're gonna catch way more fish. But matching the hatch, using Active Target 2 today, we're gonna catch a few more today. I'm gonna get back to it before it gets super hot. Maybe we'll catch a big one.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Power Pull, Total Boat Control. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on, challenge your limits.
Ooh, oh. He got it too. Oh my gosh. coming to it. Ooh, God. He got it too. Oh my gosh. I saw him flash underneath it. And then he decided he was just gonna unload on that KVD splash. Yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome, awesome blow up. My popper got all messed up too. That was incredible. Let's see, he's gonna jump again. I knew he was gonna do it again. Oh, come here. Come here, fish. Oh, there we go. KVD splash to the face. Oh my gosh. Did y'all see that unbelievable blow up right there? Goodness gracious. We're here at Lone Star Lake, also known as Ellison Creek. That's a great fish for a topwater. I mean, guys, so I'm gonna play it back for you real quick. I'm sitting there and I look down at my active target and I see 3 or 4 fish right underneath the surface. I throw my KVD splash over there and I see them kind of go down and they're kind of like swimming around, and all of a sudden I see one angle up and I'm like, yeah, the fish might actually eat it. And I see him come up under it physically with my eyes, and he goes back down. I'm like, okay, he's not gonna eat it. My topwater got all messed up, and he went over there and he crushed on it. I mean, like, holy cow. But guys, one thing that you always need to take note of is whenever you do get on a good topwater bite, you get on these schooling fish, is to really pay attention. Find a topwater that matches the bait fish size. You know, I started out with a sexy dog, but the shad out here were really small, 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. Sexy dog's a pretty big bait. They're still blowing up here behind me. But getting that KVD splash, the smaller version of it, and you can even go to the tiny version of the KVD splash, the most important thing is matching that hatch, having that little bit of white feather on the back, because it looks so much like a little baby shad, and they're gonna come up there and destroy it. We've had quite a few bites already doing this. I can't wait to get back out there. They're just blowing up everywhere. I'll see y'all here in just a second.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with this week's Let's Fish Outdoor Report, coming to you from Cajun Paradise right here in Hackberry, Louisiana. I'll tell you what, we're gonna start off on the saltwater side of things. Biggest thing right now, man, we're in the summertime pattern. It's super hot. Best bite is early and late. I tell you what, midday, you gotta watch out for those thunderstorms. Biggest thing right now, live shrimp under a popping cork, fish your deeper reefs, soft plastics on the jig head, on the ship channel and the jetties, fish your slopes, deeper water, live finger mullet, rig Carolina style seem to be the key there. Both Sabine and Calcasieu jetties are producing. I tell you what, lots of good fish getting caught down in the Grand Isle area and also down in Venice. Seems like all along the Gulf Coast right now, fishing is great. Freshwater side of things, they're doing things a little bit different. Tell you what, if the weather's decent and they get out there at night, they're having great success on bass. They're throwing big 10 to 12 inch worms fixed around brush piles, deep drop offs and points. Best night, early and late, plus it lets you beat the heat. White perch, of course, let that sun get up. White perch are gonna draw to your brush piles in 20 to 35 feet of water. Live shiner seems to be doing the best right now because it's a tough bite just because it's in the summertime heat. For old Cajun Phil, Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing, may God bless, and we're gonna see you next week. Let's fish.
Here they come. There we go. Golly. That was awesome. That was awesome. Not even a big one, but goodness gracious. Talk about calling your shot. That was so cool. Oh, I hate when they're hooked like that because they're just asking for trouble. Man, oh man, little fish, but man, what an awesome blow up. Catching schooling fish in the middle of the summer is a mainstay, like a staple for this time of year. It gets really hot, we get a thermocline, pushes those bait fish up, and those fish feed on these really sunny days. Earlier today, we had a little bit of front come through. It was wind and clouds and stuff like that, but now we're starting to get that heat. It's starting to get really hot out here. Those fish are rising up in the water column and they're starting to school, starting to hunt all over the place. Look down at my Lowrance active target 2. I saw 6 or 8 of them actually scanning under the water. They weren't blown up yet, but I knew they were coming, so I threw my KVD splash over there. The rest is history. But paying attention to little details. Paying attention when the sun comes out, what direction the wind's blowing, where do you see shad? All of those little bitty details, especially this time of year, the middle of the summer, the hottest dog days of summer, are some of the most important details that you don't want to miss. So I'm gonna get back to it. The fish are biting. They're eating my little KVD splash like crazy.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Strike King, Taiwan On, and by Glacier Outdoors since 1982.
Oh, that wasn't a big one that hit it. That one is a big one that missed it. Oh my gosh. That's a pretty good one, I think. He's acting like he's a good one. No, he ain't that good. There's 100 of them under the boat right now. Ain't bad though. Stocky one. Oh, golly. You know, you get a lot of people asking, like, do I need to change hooks and all that stuff? Don't get me wrong, in certain tournament situations, I change hooks. But the ones that come on that KVD splash are some of the sharpest, strongest hooks that I've found. And I really don't ever change them. I mean, it's one of those that really work well. But real fast, I'm gonna show you how to fish this topwater. You know, I get a lot of questions on, you know, do I fish it fast? Do I fish it slow? And one of the big important things, it depends on the color of your bait, especially in schooling fish. If you're gonna throw more of a white bait, like what I'm throwing here, I wanna fish the bait a little bit faster. I don't want them to get as good a look at the bait. And if I'm gonna throw more of a transparent bait, that's when I'm actually gonna fish the bait a little slower. And every day is gonna be a little bit different. You know, they might eat one better one day and then different the next. But when I'm throwing the white one, I'm fishing a little bit faster. They're keying in on the color of the bait. But when, you know, if you throw a more transparent bait, you know, a lot of times you see the fish actually miss it if you fish the bait too fast because it blends with the water so well. And the fish can't really get keyed in on it as good as maybe they should be. So really pay attention when you're out there, and you'll be surprised the difference if you do. Oh, I want that one. I don't even care about this one that's trying to hit it. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, I got it. God, it's not the right one. I feel so bad for these guys over here. Oh, there's like 20 of them with it. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I don't know how that one didn't come up. Oh, spoke too soon. See, the deal is there's some deep grass right here. And these fish, what they're doing, what I'm figuring out is they're sitting on this open water and they're pushing these fish, these shad to this openings on top of this grass mat. And these fish are just pushing all around. I mean, like, as you can tell, they're just literally schooling everywhere. Oh, he knocked it out of the water. Oh, that wasn't a big one that hit it. That one is a big one that missed it. How is he missing it that often? Oh, I got him. I just felt him. I never even saw that one hit it. I think my bait was all messed up. Oh, yeah. That's a good one there. Golly, he's got that thing choked. Jeez. That's a good fish there. There, I knew you weren't done yet. I mean, check that out, guys. Wow. I mean, I'm gonna have to get some pliers on that one, because that thing is deep, deep, deep. There we go, just like that. Let's get this fish back real fast. Guys, today has been incredible. And we started out fishing shallow, throwing a hybrid hunter around, caught a really nice one first thing, lost a couple really good ones though. And that's the reality of fishing this time of year. Sometimes they short strike those baits. And I don't know if we necessarily had the right conditions for what we were trying to do this morning, but as that sun came up, as those clouds went away, and the heat really started kicking on, the fish started biting. They started schooling. And I pulled out my old trusty KVD Splash. You know, I've shot a couple shows on this KVD Splash. It is still one of the top baits that I've ever caught them on. It's a small bait, but it catches big fish. You know, that's just another example of a really nice one. We actually lost probably the biggest one of the day on the KVD Splash. But anytime you can go chase schooling fish in the heat of the summer, it is gonna be a fun time. I'm gonna leave you with this though. Most important thing, match the hatch this time of year. Adjust your topwater size based off the bait fish that you see. You'll see them flickering sometimes. Sometimes when you catch a fish, you'll actually see the shad or the bait fish inside the fish's mouth. Today we saw them in both situations. I saw them in the fish's mouth and I saw them floating. They're really small shad. That KVD Splash matches them perfectly. As you can tell, they're wolf packing on the back end of that KVD Splash. So I'm gonna head back on in. It's already 105 degrees out here. I'm hot, my cameraman's hot. We'll see y'all here in just a second.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by passion. Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Guys, today was one of those phenomenal, fun fishing, hot days here in the middle of summer. You know, we started the day out using one of my favorite baits. This is the Strike King Hybrid Hunter. Ghost purple in color. Caught one really nice one right off the bat. Actually lost 2 or 3 other really good ones. But as the day progressed, as the heat came on and that sun came out, changed to a little minnow style bait on the jig head. Caught a couple on active target doing that. But let me tell you guys, there was one bait that basically caught 95% of the fish today. And that's when we picked up the old faithful KVD Splash. I mean, this was a brand new bait when I picked it up, and it is chewed to death. I actually had to change my back hook because I caught so many that I broke one of the hooks off. But I was using 30-pound braid on that, and just a natural shad color, a white belly, fishing it quick across the surface on those surfacing and schooling fish. A 6'9" square bill crankbait rod with a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio Lew's Hyper Mag reel. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, this combo right here is one of the oldest combos that I own. It's just something that's really comfortable for me. It fits in my hand. The braid is old. All of it's old because this is just the combo that I throw topwater on day in and day out, especially my smaller topwaters. But guys, Ellison Creek has been amazing. I love fishing new bodies of water, figuring them out and finding fish that I've never caught before. I learn something every single time that I go fishing, and I definitely learned something this week on Ellison Creek, and I hope you did too. And until next time, I'll see you on the water.